Here's a fact that should shake you a little. According to behavioral research, most people set goals they never pursue because they don't believe they're capable of achieving them. Not because the goals are impossible, not because they lack skill, but because they lack confidence. Another study shows that when two people with equal ability compete, the one with higher confidence wins the majority of the time. Confidence doesn't just influence your life, it shapes the results you get from it. And here's the part that creates real FOMO. Confidence is not a feeling, it's a behavioral pattern. It's something your brain builds through repeated exposure to discomfort, challenge, and action. While most people avoid these things, a small group moves toward them. They act before they feel ready. They speak before they feel comfortable. They show up before they feel certain. And because of that, they build a kind of confidence that becomes unstoppable. Meanwhile, the average person spends years waiting to feel ready. And the truth is, readiness never comes. Fear never disappears. Doubt never leaves. The only thing that changes is whether you act despite it. That's the difference between the confident and everyone else. Your life right now is a reflection not of your potential but of your confidence. And if your confidence increases, every part of your life increases with it. Your income, your influence, your opportunities, your relationships, your decisions. Most people will live their entire life never unlocking the confidence they're capable of, but you're here. And that means you're ready to learn how ruthless confidence is built, scientifically, mentally, and deliberately. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The Root of Ruthless Confidence. Confidence. It's one of the most misunderstood concepts in the world. Most people think confidence is something you're born with. Some think it's the result of success. Others believe it comes from looks, money, attention, or status. But here's the truth. Ruthless confidence is not a personality trait. It is not a gift. It is a decision. It is a decision to trust yourself even when nobody else does. A decision to keep moving when fear grabs your ankles. A decision to stand tall when your environment tells you to shrink. A decision to evolve when your past tries to keep you small. Ruthless confidence is more than courage. It is more than self-esteem. It is the unshakable inner certainty that you will figure things out, no matter the situation, no matter the challenge, no matter the odds. It is not arrogance. It is not loudness. In fact, ruthless confidence is often the opposite of loudness. It is quiet, steady, intentional, unbreakable. It does not beg for approval. It does not chase validation. It does not crumble under pressure. It does not require applause to exist. Ruthless confidence is conviction built from the inside out. Before we build it, we must understand something important. Most people are not suffering from lack of confidence. They are suffering from internal doubt created by years of criticism, comparison, rejection, failure, humiliation, low standards, broken promises to themselves, and outdated self-beliefs inherited from childhood. This chapter is the emotional and psychological reset you need before doing the real work. You cannot build ruthless confidence on a broken foundation. So before we add power, we must first repair the root. And the root is simple: self-trust. Everything about confidence comes from self-trust. If you trust yourself, you can walk into any room with certainty. If you trust yourself, you can speak without fear of judgment. If you trust yourself, you can make decisions without hesitation. If you trust yourself, you can take action without worrying about results. If you trust yourself, you can keep moving forward even when nobody supports you. Self-trust is the soil. Confidence is the plant. Ruthless confidence is the forest that grows from years of consistent self-integrity. But let's go deeper because you didn't come here for quick summaries. You came here for transformation. The real source of confidence is self-trust. There are two kinds of confidence. The first is external confidence. This comes from things you show the world: achievements, looks, money, followers, compliments, skills, social status, validation from others. This confidence is fragile. If any part of it collapses, the person collapses with it. Lose the job and the confidence drops. Lose the relationship and the confidence drops. Fail publicly, get rejected, gain weight, make a mistake, and the confidence drops. External confidence is like building a skyscraper on sand. The second type is internal confidence. This comes from how you see yourself. It is built on self-trust, discipline, resilience, honesty, integrity, personal standards, emotional mastery, your relationship with failure, your ability to solve problems, and your ability to regulate fear. This type of confidence does not shake easily because it is built from within. But then there is a higher level, the level this audiobook teaches: ruthless confidence. Ruthless confidence is the ability to trust yourself even when you don't know what you're doing, when you're scared, when you feel alone, when things are falling apart, when you have no external support, when you have no evidence yet, when people doubt you, when your past haunts you, when your future is unclear. Ruthless confidence is not the belief that everything will go right. It is the belief that you will handle it even if everything goes wrong. It is conviction forged from fire. You cannot buy ruthless confidence. You cannot fake it. You cannot talk your way into it. You must earn it through the hardest form of discipline, keeping the promises you make to yourself. You don't lack confidence because you're weak. You don't lack confidence because you're not smart. You don't lack confidence because of your past. You lack confidence because, deep inside, your brain has learned this pattern: I can't trust myself to follow through. It learned this from the times you said you'd start something and didn't, from the goals you abandoned, the habits you quit, from the standards you lowered, from the boundaries you ignored, from the dreams you talked about but never committed to, from the times you let emotions override discipline. Your mind remembers everything. It keeps score. When you say, "I'm going to change," your brain asks, "Really? Or are we lying again?" When you say, "I'll wake up early," your brain says, "We said that so many times before." When you say, "I'm done with bad habits," your brain says, "We've said this before too." When you say, "I'll start the gym," your brain says, "We'll see." Your brain does not judge you. It simply tracks patterns. And confidence is not a feeling. Confidence is a pattern of self-trust. When you trust yourself, not just emotionally but behaviorally, something powerful happens. You no longer fear failure, judgment, rejection, pressure, mistakes, uncertainty, new environments, your past, the unknown, or other people's opinions. Because you know, no matter what happens, you won't abandon yourself. That is the root of ruthless confidence. Not "I am great, but I can depend on me." This is why you see people with average talent outperform people with incredible talent. It's not talent, it's trust. They trust themselves to do the work. They trust themselves to try. They trust themselves to fail. They trust themselves to rise. They trust themselves to stay consistent. And because they trust themselves, confidence grows naturally. Now this is where the transformation begins. You rebuild your confidence through behavior, not affirmations. You rebuild it through action, not motivation. Here is a powerful confidence-building method you can use: the self-integrity system, your 30-day confidence transformation. There are 3 phases, and each phase expands your self-trust. Phase 1 is the phase of micro-promises. For 7 days, you set one tiny commitment each day. Tiny means things like 5 push-ups, reading 2 pages, drinking 1 full glass of water upon waking, making your bed, taking a 5-minute walk, writing 1 sentence, organizing 1 small area, or staying off your phone for the first 5 minutes after waking. These take less than 2 minutes. Your brain learns, I can rely on myself. Confidence rises. Phase 2 is identity installation. For the next 10 days, you start making slightly larger promises. 10 minutes of working on your goals, 10 minutes of learning, 10 minutes of silence, 10 minutes of journaling, 10 minutes of self-improvement content, 1 boundary you enforce, 1 person you stop chasing, 1 reaction you control, 1 decision you make logically, 1 habit you sustain for the whole day. Here your brain learns, I follow through even when it requires effort. Confidence grows stronger. Phase 3 is the signature promise. This is the life-changing part. You choose 1 major commitment and you stick to it for 13 days straight. It might be no complaining, no gossip, no reacting impulsively, 20 minutes of exercise daily, 30 minutes of skill building, 500 words of writing, sleeping before a certain time, a daily walk of a specific distance, drinking water consistently, or a strict boundary you do not break. This is where your identity shifts. Your brain learns, I keep promises even when it's difficult. This creates ruthless confidence. Why? Because now you have evidence. Not hope, not theory, not motivation. Evidence. Humans don't build confidence through success alone. We build confidence through self-consistency. You become confident not when you achieve big things, but when you do exactly what you said you would do consistently. This is the foundation we need before going into deeper chapters. Because the next chapters will teach confidence under pressure, confidence around people, confidence while speaking, confidence after failure, confidence in uncertainty, confidence in your instincts, confidence in boundaries, and confidence in decision-making. But without self-trust, none of it sticks. Before this chapter ends, take a moment to sit with this question deeply. Where in my life have I stopped trusting myself? And what is 1 promise I can begin keeping today to rebuild that trust? Think about the habits you quit, the decisions you delayed, the goals you abandoned, the boundaries you ignored, and the version of you stopped believing in. Confidence is not built in public. It is built in private, in quiet moments, in small decisions, in everyday integrity. And you can rebuild it starting right now. If this audiobook is bringing you value so far, make sure to subscribe. It helps us create more content like this for you. Now, let's continue. Chapter 2. How to kill self-doubt before it kills your confidence. Before you can build ruthless confidence, you must destroy the force that quietly kills it every single day. Self-doubt. Self-doubt is not loud. It's not dramatic. It doesn't scream in your face or punch you to the ground. Self-doubt whispers. It creeps. It hides in the corners of your mind, appearing at the exact moment you're about to grow. Self-doubt is the silent killer of dreams, action, potential, opportunities, decisions, confidence, identity, and the future version of you that you deserve to become. Most people think lack of confidence is the problem, but confidence isn't the issue. The real enemy is the internal story that tells you, you're not ready, you'll embarrass yourself, you'll fail again. What will people think? You're not good enough, you're not qualified. Who do you think you are? Someone will judge you. You should wait. You should stay safe. These micro thoughts kill more potential than anything else in the world. Here's the truth. You cannot think your way into confidence if your self-doubt is louder than your self-belief. So this chapter is a psychological deep clean, a reset, a demolition of the mental patterns that sabotage your confidence before you even get a chance to use it. Because you don't need more motivation. You need fewer doubts. You don't need more compliments. You need fewer inner critics. You don't need more tricks. You need fewer mental blocks. Confidence is not built by adding more. It's built by removing what's in the way. Self-doubt is a survival mechanism, not a personality trait. Most people think, I doubt myself because something is wrong with me. That's wrong. Self-doubt is a survival instinct. Your brain is not built for confidence. It is built for protection. Protection from failure, humiliation, emotional pain, rejection, uncertainty, unfamiliar environments, social judgment, and risk. The brain would rather keep you in a comfortable misery than push you toward an uncomfortable transformation. So self-doubt is not a flaw. It is your brain trying to save you from danger, even when the danger is simply growth. This alone should change the way you see doubt. You aren't broken. You are human. Self-doubt also increases every time you hesitate. Confidence dies in hesitation. The moment you overthink, even for a second, self-doubt pours in through the cracks. You want to speak up, but you hesitate. Your brain starts sending doubt signals. Don't talk, you might sound stupid. You want to approach someone, but you hesitate. Don't embarrass yourself. You want to start a project, but you hesitate. You're not capable. The hesitation is the entry point for doubt. The longer you stay uncertain, the stronger the doubt becomes. Doubt grows even more when you keep comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Social media has created a massive confidence crisis. You compare your real life to their filtered life, your struggles to their successes, your private insecurities to their public confidence, your starting point to their 10-year journey, and you wonder why you doubt yourself. Comparison is the birthplace of self-doubt. You can't win a race you were never meant to run. Doubt becomes your identity when you listen to old versions of yourself. Most people aren't doubting who they are. They're doubting the past version of themselves. A version created from childhood criticism, teenage insecurities, early failures, lack of support, bullying, unhealthy environments, old relationships, old mistakes. You are not doubting who you are. You are doubting the person you used to be. But your brain hasn't updated the file yet. Doubt becomes a habit, not a truth. Doubt is not evidence. It is repetition. If you doubt yourself often enough, your brain assumes this must be the truth. It becomes an identity, and identities are hard to break unless you create a stronger one. That is the purpose of ruthless confidence. Here is a 4-step system to kill self-doubt at the root. Simple to understand, life-changing when practiced consistently. Step 1. Name the doubt immediately. Interrupt the pattern. You cannot fight a ghost. You must give the doubt a name. The moment doubt appears, you say, internally or out loud, this is self-doubt, not reality. That sentence is powerful because it separates you from the thought. It prevents the thought from feeling like truth. It interrupts the subconscious loop. It forces awareness, and it breaks automatic fear responses. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you say, this is self-doubt trying to protect me. Instant separation, instant clarity, instant control. Step 2. Ask the 3 confidence questions. Whenever you doubt yourself, ask, is this fear or is this fact? What is the worst realistic thing that could happen, not the exaggerated version, but the realistic one? What will happen if I don't act? Most of the time, the answer to the first question is that it's fear, not fact. The second question shrinks the monster. And the third question reminds you that inaction usually costs more than action. Fear thrives in imagination. It dies in analysis. Step 3. Take a 10-second bold action. Shut down doubt before it grows. Self-doubt cannot survive action, so use the 10-second rule. The moment you feel the urge to act, you have 10 seconds to take bold action before doubt floods your mind. Send the message, start the workout, press record, make the call, speak the sentence. Say the truth, open the laptop, begin writing, walk into the room, take the step. Confidence is not thinking, it is doing. You kill doubt by acting faster than it can grow. Step 4. Build evidence until doubt suffocates. Doubt does not disappear through affirmations. It disappears through evidence. Every time you act quickly, keep a promise, push through fear, show up for yourself, do something uncomfortable, take small risks, practice consistency, build discipline, and follow through, you create evidence that you can trust yourself. And doubt loses power. Eventually, your inner voice changes from "I'm scared" to "I've done this before. I can handle this. I've survived worse. I know how to do hard things. I trust myself." That is ruthless confidence, not arrogance, not delusion, evidence-based self-belief. Before we move to the next chapter, sit with this question. What specific self-doubt story do I keep repeating, and who taught me to believe it? Then ask, is that story still true for who I am becoming? If the answer is no, it's time to retire that version of you forever. Ruthless confidence requires one thing above everything else. You must stop negotiating with the person you used to be. If this audiobook is bringing you value so far, make sure to subscribe. It helps us create more content like this for you. Now, let's continue. Chapter 3. The Art of Unbreakable Self-Belief. Let's move into one of the deepest pillars of ruthless confidence. The kind of confidence that doesn't shake, doesn't crumble, and doesn't disappear when someone disrespects you, doubts you, or rejects you. This chapter is all about unbreakable self-belief. Not the cute, positive affirmation type, but the kind that makes you walk differently, speak differently, think differently, and live differently. Self-belief is the foundation of everything a strong person becomes. Without it, you could have talent, intelligence, kindness, and creativity, but no spine, no execution, no courage, and no results. Most people walk through life with their confidence attached to something external. Someone else's approval, someone else's validation, social media likes, their past achievements, or the comfort of their environment. But ruthless confidence, the kind that creates leaders, winners, and unstoppable individuals, starts from something deeper. An internal decision that you are enough, that you can grow, that you can improve, and that no one's opinion has the authority to rewrite your identity. Unbreakable self-belief isn't born. It's built piece by piece, choice by choice, moment by moment. And it begins with a question few people ever have the courage to ask. What do I believe about myself, and who taught me to believe it? Most people never question the beliefs handed to them by insecure parents, rude teachers, jealous friends, or a society that prefers you being average because it's easier to control you that way. But you're here now, you're listening, and you're rebuilding. This chapter will take you through the process of tearing down the mental walls that have held you back and rebuilding a new, unshakable foundation from the inside out. Self-belief is a muscle, not a miracle. You don't just wake up one day and magically feel confident because the universe finally felt generous. Confidence is something you earn. Most people think belief comes before action, but the truth is the opposite. Action creates belief. Small wins create belief. Hard choices you stick to create belief. Promises you keep to yourself create belief. Every time you do something difficult, unfamiliar, or uncomfortable, you send a message to your identity. I can count on myself. And every time you avoid something important, delay something necessary, or run from something difficult, you send the opposite message. I can't trust myself. Confidence is built on internal trust. There are 3 pillars of unbreakable self-belief. The first pillar is identity, who you decide you are. The average person lives with an accidental identity. They never consciously decide who they want to be. They absorb beliefs from childhood like, you're lazy, you're not smart, you're not good enough. Be careful, don't try too hard, don't take risks, just be safe. So they grow into adults trying to fit into a box someone else designed, and then they wonder why they feel weak. You rebuild confidence when you rewrite your identity. When you say, I'm someone who improves, I'm someone who learns, I'm someone who grows through difficulty, I'm someone who stays steady under pressure, I'm someone who doesn't break. Ruthless confidence begins with identity, not achievements. The second pillar is discipline, the evidence that you can trust yourself. People struggle with confidence because they constantly break promises to themselves. They say they'll wake up early and don't. They say they'll start that project and don't. They say they'll change a habit and don't. After years of this, the brain stops believing anything they say. Discipline, even in small doses, rebuilds that trust. One completed task, one act of courage, one difficult choice, one moment of self-control, one quiet decision that no one sees but you see it and your identity sees it. Discipline is the evidence of your potential. It proves to you that you are not weak. You're simply untrained. The third pillar is resilience, your ability to rise again. Most people collapse the moment life pushes them. They fail once and quit. They're rejected once and lose hope. They face criticism and shrink. Their plans go wrong and they sit still. People with ruthless confidence understand a simple truth. Resilience is not about surviving, it's about rising stronger. Life will hit you, people will doubt you, plans will fail, disappointments will happen, but the question is, do you stop or do you evolve? Ruthless confidence grows every time you get up after being knocked down. Now let's turn this into practice. First, the no matter what system. Pick one small habit you will do every single day, no matter what. Not 5, not 10, just one. It must be something simple enough that you can't excuse your way out of it. It could be a 10-minute walk, 1 page of reading, 20 push-ups, 5 minutes of meditation, or no phone for 30 minutes after waking. This builds identity, discipline, and internal trust. It's not about the habit itself. It's about proving to yourself, I finish what I start. Second, the courage rep exercise. Every day, do one thing that makes you a little uncomfortable. This is how you train your nervous system to stop reacting with fear. Ask a question you're scared to ask. Speak clearly in a conversation instead of shrinking. Say no when you usually say yes. Start the task you've been avoiding. Express what you truly think. Courage is a skill. When you practice it daily, you become unstoppable. Third, rejection therapy. Seek out tiny rejections intentionally. Rejection becomes less scary the more familiar it feels. Ask for a discount. Ask someone a bold question. Post something online you usually overthink. Speak up in a group. Ask for clarification when you don't understand something. You're not trying to win. You're trying to neutralize the fear of rejection. Once rejection loses power over you, your confidence becomes untouchable. Fourth, the Who I Am Becoming journal. Each night, write 3 things. One thing you did well today, one moment you acted like the person you want to become, and one thing you can improve tomorrow. This rewires your identity. You stop focusing on flaws and start tracking progress. Confidence grows wherever attention goes. Feed your progress, not your insecurities. Fifth, audit your environment. People either drain your confidence or elevate it. Most people keep confidence killers close because they're familiar. Negative friends, critical parents, jealous coworkers, people who don't clap when you win, people who gossip, complain, or sabotage. Audit your environment honestly. You don't need to cut everyone off. You just need to limit the weight they have on your self-image. Replace that influence with books that inspire you, podcasts that challenge you, audiobooks like this, mentors, ambitious people, and those who speak to your best self, not your limitations. Now take a moment, slow down, and ask yourself these questions honestly. What beliefs do I currently hold about myself that are not mine, but were given to me by others? What is one small daily habit I can commit to that will rebuild my internal trust? Where in my life am I avoiding discomfort, and what simple action can I take today to push myself just a little more? Who makes me feel smaller and who makes me feel capable? If I fully believed in myself, what decision would I make this week? Your next level of confidence begins with the honesty of your answers. If this audiobook is bringing you value so far, make sure to subscribe. It helps us create more content like this for you. Now, let's continue. Chapter 4. The Power of Emotional Dominance. This chapter is going to fundamentally change how you think, how you react, and how you see yourself in the world. Ruthless confidence is not built on loudness. It's not built on arrogance. It's not built on pretending to be tough. Ruthless confidence comes from emotional dominance, the ability to control your inner world so deeply that nothing external can shake you, trigger you, or knock you off your path. Most people are mentally strong until life touches their emotions, until someone disrespects them, until something inconvenient happens, until a plan fails, until someone says something they don't like, until reality contradicts what they expected, and instantly their confidence collapses. But the kind of confidence you want, the kind that's unbreakable, requires a level of emotional mastery that separates you from most people. Today, we rebuild your emotional power from the inside out. People lose their confidence not because life is hard, but because their emotions control them. You can't be confident if someone else can irritate you easily, if your mood changes based on other people, if you overthink opinions, if you take everything personally, if you cannot stay calm under pressure, if you react too fast, if you lose control during conflict, if emotional storms drive your decisions, if fear or insecurity puts you on pause, if anxiety overpowers clarity, if someone's energy affects your energy. A reactive mind cannot build confidence. A scattered mind cannot build confidence. A fragile emotional system cannot build confidence. Confidence comes from internal stability, not external comfort. You don't become confident because life is easy. You become confident because you can stay solid even when life gets difficult. If the previous chapter taught you how to build identity, trust, and discipline, this chapter teaches you how to command your inner world so your identity never collapses again. Every truly confident person you admire, real confidence, not fake bravado, has one thing in common: they are centered, they are grounded, they are emotionally stable, they do not give their power away. Weak people leak emotional energy. They get mad too fast, they get offended too fast, they get discouraged too fast, they get scared too fast, they get intimidated too fast. A confident person feels the same emotions: fear, discomfort, frustration, doubt, but they respond differently. They pause, they breathe. They observe, they think, they choose. They do not move until they are aligned with their own internal power. Ruthless confidence means this: my emotions don't make decisions for me, I do. There are three pillars of emotional dominance. The first is the power of the pause. Every emotional mistake in your life came from one thing: reacting too fast, saying something you regret, texting impulsively, making a decision from anger, letting fear take over, taking something personally, escalating an argument, ruining your peace. The pause is emotional dominance in action. A confident person does not react instantly. They let the spike of emotion rise and pass. Emotions live on a short biological cycle. If you wait, even for a few seconds, your emotional brain calms down and your rational brain wakes up. The pause gives you clarity. Clarity gives you power, and power gives you confidence. The second pillar is the power of detachment. People who cannot detach lose every time. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you care without losing yourself. You listen without absorbing negativity. You see clearly without drowning in emotion. You stay calm even when someone tries to pull you into chaos. When you detach, you stop taking things personally. You stop chasing validation. You stop relying on approval. You stop reacting emotionally. You stop absorbing other people's moods. You stop overthinking every interaction. Confidence grows the moment you stop being controlled by external noise. The third pillar is the power of internal references. There are two types of people in the world: externally referenced people and internally referenced people. Externally referenced people rely on opinions, likes, reactions, approval, praise, feedback, and validation. If any of these disappear, their confidence collapses. Internally referenced people rely on one thing: their own standards. Their confidence comes from what they know they're capable of, what they are building, what they've overcome, how they behave, and how they grow, not what people say. This is the core of emotional dominance. You trust yourself more than anyone else's voice. Now let's develop emotional dominance in practice. First, the 3-second power pause. Anytime you feel a spike of emotion: anger, fear, insecurity, jealousy, defensiveness, embarrassment, urgency, pause for 3 seconds, take one slow breath, then respond. This tiny habit rewires your entire emotional system. You transform from reactive to intentional, from emotional to strategic, from impulsive to confident. Second, the not mine technique. When you feel emotional pressure coming from someone's tone, someone's attitude, someone's negativity, someone's stress, someone's disappointment, or someone's opinion, say in your mind, "That's not mine." This instantly detaches your emotional system from their energy. You stop absorbing. You stop reacting. You stop overthinking. You stay in your power. Third, the stay on your side of the net rule. Imagine a tennis court. Your side represents your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, your discipline, your effort, your standards. The other side represents other people's judgments, their tone, their behavior, their choices, their reactions, their issues. Emotionally weak people try to control the other side. Emotionally strong people stay on their side. You win your confidence back the moment you stop trying to manage what doesn't belong to you. Fourth, the calm body, calm mind reset. Your emotional state is physical. If your body is tense, tired, overstimulated, or stressed, your emotions will be unstable. Once or twice a day, drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, relax your stomach, take a slow breath, and exhale fully. Your nervous system resets. Your mental clarity returns. Your emotional stability increases instantly. A calm body creates emotional dominance. Fifth, the "I choose how I feel" statement. When something triggers you, instead of reacting with old patterns, say internally, "I choose how I feel. I choose how I respond." This sounds simple, but it breaks old emotional conditioning. You stop being controlled. You stop absorbing poison. You stop being reactive. Confidence grows every time you choose your emotional state instead of letting the world choose it for you. Now take a moment and ask yourself, what emotion controls me the most? Anger, fear, insecurity, or overthinking? Who in my life do I allow to disturb my inner peace, and why? Where do I react too fast, and how could pausing change the situation? Do I get my confidence from myself or from what others think of me? If I were emotionally unshakable, how would I behave differently tomorrow? Confidence begins with clarity. Clarity begins with honesty. Emotional dominance begins with awareness. If this audiobook is bringing you value so far, make sure to subscribe. It helps us create more content like this for you. Now, let's continue. Chapter 5. Mastering Decision Making Under Pressure. Welcome to one of the most critical pillars of ruthless confidence, making decisions under pressure. Because no matter how strong your self-belief is, no matter how emotionally dominant you are, your confidence is useless if you freeze when life demands action. Ruthless confidence is built not in comfort but in the heat of high-stakes situations. When stakes are high, fear is loud, and doubt is screaming. Your ability to make clean, decisive choices is what separates winners from the rest. The truth is simple. Confidence is the byproduct of decisive action. Every hesitating, overthinking, wait and see moment erodes your power. Every deliberate, aligned, immediate decision strengthens it. In this chapter, we will train your mind and body to decide quickly, confidently, and consistently, even when everything around you is chaotic, uncertain, or hostile. Decision-making under pressure is a battlefield. And in that battlefield, most people are unarmed. They are paralyzed by fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong choice, fear of looking foolish, fear of uncertainty, fear of losing control. They wait for perfect conditions or absolute clarity. And while they wait, opportunities pass by, momentum dies, and confidence crumbles. Ruthless confidence demands a different approach. You decide first. You adjust second. You do not wait for permission, clarity, or comfort. You act in alignment with your values, your identity, and your goals. And when the outcome arrives, success or failure, you handle it like a master. To master decision-making under pressure, we'll use what you can think of as a decision triad with 3 pillars: clarity of purpose, speed of action, and acceptance of outcome. Master these 3 and you will act decisively no matter what life throws at you. First, clarity of purpose. You cannot make strong decisions without knowing what you truly want, not what someone else wants, not what society says is smart, not what your parents, friends, or peers expect. What do you want? Clarity of purpose means answering questions like, what is non-negotiable for me? What aligns with my identity and long-term goals? What outcome am I aiming for? Once you know your purpose, your decisions become filters. Everything else, distraction, doubt, criticism, falls away. Confident people decide quickly because their purpose guides them. Indecisive people waver because they lack clarity. Second, speed of action. Speed kills doubt. Speed builds momentum. Speed creates confidence. The longer you wait, the more your mind injects fear, overthinking, and hesitation. Decision-making is not about perfection. It's about alignment and execution. Think of a sniper. He doesn't wait until wind, light, and gravity are perfect. He calculates, aims, and takes the shot. He adjusts with experience. But the first decisive action is what creates results. Use this principle in your life. Commit quickly, start immediately, adjust after taking action, and avoid overanalyzing. Decisive action rewires your mind to trust your instincts. Ruthless confidence thrives in action, not contemplation. Third, acceptance of outcome. Every decision has a risk. Every choice carries potential failure. Every action creates results that may not match your expectations. Ruthless confidence is not about always succeeding. It is about handling failure with grace. You must learn to say internally, I did my best with the information and resources I had. I will learn from the outcome and I will continue forward. Acceptance neutralizes fear. Neutralizing fear allows speed. Speed builds momentum. Momentum strengthens confidence. Now let's turn this into practice through decisive mind training. First, the 10-second rule. Whenever a decision arises, count 10 seconds in your head, make a choice before the countdown ends, and act immediately. This trains your brain to override fear, overthinking, and doubt. Start with small decisions. Responding to an email, choosing your next task, making a phone call, saying yes or no. Gradually apply it to bigger decisions, business opportunities, social risks, personal challenges. Second, simulation training. Practice high-pressure decision-making in controlled environments. Time yourself on problem-solving tasks. Set artificial deadlines. Role-play scenarios where you must act quickly. Use real-life micro-battles to simulate stress. This creates decision reflexes, making you more comfortable under real pressure. Third, the pros and no cons method. When you hesitate, your mind generates a list of pros and cons. Indecisive people get trapped in endless cons. Instead, reframe. Write only the pros. Ignore imagined cons temporarily. Decide based on alignment with your purpose. Your brain will stop overanalyzing. You'll learn that speed and alignment are more important than perfection. Fourth, post-decision reflection. After every decision, reflect. Did my choice align with my values? Did I act without unnecessary hesitation? Did I accept the outcome gracefully? What can I improve next time? Reflection builds feedback loops that improve your instincts and reinforce confidence. Fifth, a decision journal. Keep a journal dedicated to decisions. Small decisions, big decisions, emotional decisions, strategic decisions. Write down the situation, your decision, your reasoning, the result, and the lessons learned. Over time, you create evidence of decisiveness, strengthening self-trust and ruthless confidence. Sixth, manage emotional interference. Your ability to decide under pressure is tied to emotional mastery. Whenever fear, anger, or doubt arises, pause, breathe, name the emotion, detach, and act in alignment with your purpose. Combine emotional dominance with decision-making for unstoppable confidence. Seventh, embrace imperfection. No decision is ever perfect. Waiting for perfection is the fastest path to paralysis. Ruthless confidence embraces imperfect choices, mistakes, risk, learning curves, and feedback. Every imperfect decision builds evidence that you can act and survive. Every action reinforces self-trust and belief. Now take a quiet moment and answer honestly. Where do I hesitate the most in my life? Which decisions have I avoided that could have changed my trajectory? What fears influence my choices, and are they rational or imagined? What small daily decision can I commit to making instantly today? How can I align my next big decision with my values and identity rather than others' opinions? Ruthless confidence is the sum of countless decisive actions taken quickly, aligned with purpose, and accepted without fear. Every choice you make builds a reputation inside your mind. I act, I adjust, I survive, I win. This is the heartbeat of unshakable, real-world confidence. If this audiobook is bringing you value so far, make sure to subscribe. It helps us create more content like this for you. Now let's continue. Chapter 6, Becoming Ruthlessly Confident. Congratulations. You've reached the final chapter. By now, you've dismantled self-doubt, rebuilt unbreakable self-belief, mastered emotional dominance, and learned to make decisions under pressure. You've trained your mind to act faster, trust itself, and stay grounded when life gets chaotic. But ruthless confidence is not a finish line. It is a lifestyle. It is a state of being that requires constant maintenance, evolution, and courage. This final chapter is your blueprint for sustaining this power, integrating it into every aspect of your life, and stepping into the person you were always capable of becoming. Ruthless confidence is not about looking fearless to others. It's not about impressing people. It's not about never feeling fear or doubt again. It's about being comfortable in your own power, no matter what the world throws at you. It's about choosing yourself over external validation. It's about acting decisively, consistently, and courageously, even when your emotions scream, your past whispers, and uncertainty looms. Ruthless confidence is the alignment of identity, action, and emotion. It is the integration of everything you've learned so far, knowing who you are and trusting yourself, controlling your emotional state, acting decisively under pressure, eliminating self-doubt. It's not a gift. It's a practice, a habit, a mindset that must be cultivated deliberately. And here is the closing insight. You are not becoming confident because of the world. You are becoming confident because of yourself. Let's consolidate everything into 6 pillars that will sustain you for life. The first pillar is total self-trust. Confidence is rooted in trusting yourself without hesitation. Trust your instincts, trust your choices, trust your ability to adapt, trust that you can handle consequences. When self-trust is solid, the opinions, judgments, or criticisms of others lose power. You stop waiting for approval. You stop seeking permission. You start acting with authority because your authority comes from within. The second pillar is emotional sovereignty. Your emotions are tools, not rulers. Anger becomes focus. Fear becomes preparation. Disappointment becomes motivation. Rejection becomes fuel. Emotional sovereignty means you respond intentionally rather than reacting impulsively. It allows you to stay calm, present, and decisive even in chaos. The third pillar is relentless action. Confidence is built in motion. Ideas without execution are illusions. Plans without follow-through are excuses. Knowledge without application is wasted energy. Ruthless confidence is forged every time you take bold, aligned action, even when you feel fear, doubt, or uncertainty. The fourth pillar is purpose-driven decisions. Every decision you make should align with your identity and long-term goals. Stop making decisions based on comfort. Stop reacting to opinions. Stop letting fear dictate your choices. Aligned decisions create clarity, consistency, and unstoppable momentum. They reinforce your internal authority and amplify confidence. The fifth pillar is evidence-based self-belief. Confidence is not just a feeling, it's a record of proof. The things you accomplish, the promises you keep to yourself, the risks you take, the lessons you learn, these become tangible evidence that you can trust yourself. Ruthless confidence is not imagined. It is built, measured, and reinforced daily. The sixth pillar is courageous authenticity. Confidence thrives when you own who you are. Speak your truth, stand your ground, embrace your uniqueness. Let go of conformity. The world may not like you at first. Some people will resist, some will doubt. But the more authentically you live, the more unstoppable your confidence becomes. Now let's integrate ruthless confidence into every part of your life. Begin with a daily check-in. Start your day by asking, who do I want to be today? What actions will demonstrate my confidence? What fears will I face deliberately? End your day by asking, did I act in alignment with my identity? What decisions reinforced my trust in myself? Where can I improve tomorrow? Daily reflection reinforces your identity and creates habitual confidence. Next, focus on small wins with big impact. Complete the tasks you start. Keep promises to yourself. Act boldly, even in small ways. These micro-commitments accumulate into massive internal trust. Every day becomes proof of your competence. Challenge your comfort zone. Confidence grows when you embrace discomfort intentionally. Speak up when it's easier to stay silent. Take risks when it's safer to wait. Accept feedback when it stings. Start projects when uncertainty looms. Confront fears rather than avoiding them. Every challenge strengthens your resilience, decision-making, and self-belief. Guard your energy. Your environment, relationships, and information intake affect your confidence. Limit toxic influence. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. Consume content that reinforces your identity, not undermines it. Protect your mental and emotional bandwidth. Ruthless confidence is impossible when you are drained by external chaos. Train your emotions daily. Practice the pause. Detach from triggers. Name your emotions. Respond intentionally. Over time, your emotions obey you, not the other way around. Emotional mastery is the foundation of unshakable confidence. Keep a decision log. Write down what you decided, how fast you acted, what outcome occurred, and what you learned. This reinforces rapid, aligned, fearless decision-making. Momentum builds confidence faster than motivation ever could. And finally, pair confidence with gratitude and humility. Ruthless confidence is not arrogance. It's strength paired with clarity and perspective. Be grateful for challenges that make you stronger. Be humble about what you don't know. Celebrate small wins, but stay focused on growth. Confidence that is arrogant will crumble. Confidence rooted in reality and gratitude is enduring. Now sit quietly and ask yourself, who am I becoming with these tools and habits? Where in my life am I still giving my power away to others? What daily rituals will cement my confidence permanently? Which fears will I face this week to reinforce my identity? How will I act boldly tomorrow, regardless of uncertainty or judgment? Write the answers. Let them guide your next steps. Ruthless confidence is not theoretical. It is lived experience, action, and choice. Here is the ultimate truth. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you create. It is built from action, courage, emotional mastery, decisiveness, self-trust, and authenticity. It is a daily practice, a lifestyle, a mindset. It is forged in discomfort, tested in adversity, and reinforced through consistency. You now have the blueprint, you have the tools, you have the exercises. The only remaining step is integration. Ruthless confidence does not arrive magically. It grows every time you act despite fear, trust yourself fully, control your emotions, decide under pressure, align your actions with your identity, face discomfort head-on, and take responsibility for your growth. The world will never hand it to you. No one else can give it to you. You create it. You earn it. You live it. From this moment forward, decide boldly, act decisively, trust unconditionally, respond intentionally, own your life unapologetically. Ruthless confidence is not a destination. It is your identity. Step into it, live it, dominate it. How to develop ruthless confidence outro. You've now reached the end of this audiobook. Take a moment to absorb everything you've learned, the tools, the strategies, and the mindset shifts. Remember, ruthless confidence isn't something you find. It's something you build every day with every choice, every action, and every challenge you face. Use what you've learned here to trust yourself fully, control your emotions, make bold, decisive actions, face fear and discomfort head-on, and live authentically and unapologetically. The real power begins when you take these lessons and apply them consistently. Your life will never be the same once you commit to this path. If this audiobook brought you value, subscribe to our channel and stay connected. We release new content designed to elevate your mindset, sharpen your skills, and help you become the unstoppable version of yourself. Go forward with courage. Go forward with clarity. Go forward with ruthless confidence.